So, g'day, my name is Peter Coco from Vleppo. I'm joined here by Ketevan from Impact Hub in Georgia. And that's not Georgia, United States, that's Georgia, Eastern Europe. How's it going, Ketevan?
Hello.
G'day.
To be here with you.
Excellent. What we'll do is I'll just kick off with the standard 5 questions and then we'll just sort of see where we go from there. So question number 1, can you just provide a bit of background to Impact Hub, just how it started, how long it's been around and your tenants and so forth?
Mm-hmm. So actually Impact Hub Tbilisi is open since 2016, October. Mm-hmm. The Impact Hub is co-founded by me and 2 of my other friends. Mm-hmm. You might know that Impact Hub is an international network of co-working spaces. Mm-hmm. And it has its own rules how to become a part of the network actually. So we, the 3 co-founders, started on working on this concept in February 2016. Mm-hmm. And in October already we've got the license to open an Impact Hub. Actually it was the record time of opening an Impact Hub because it usually takes 18 months to be a member, yeah. The idea of founding an Impact Hub belongs to another co-founder, George. Mm-hmm. Was living in London for several years, and he was living next to an Impact Hub Islington actually. And when he saw the concept and when he visited the space, he was really he liked it very much. And he called us from there and girls, we're doing this Impact Hub, and it's an amazing concept and let's do it. I'm arriving in a few months and let's start working on this concept. The story actually of creating an Impact Hub is a fairy tale story because me and all other 2 co-founders, we are friends from the childhood. We were together in kindergarten, then together in the school. So it's yeah. So we started working on this concept. We had on the opening of Impact Hub, we had many sleepless nights. Yeah. Because there are several stages you have to overcome to become actually the part of an Impact Hub. You have to do some events, you have to do the whole business plan, market research, etc. So we did everything for in 7 months, and we've got the license, as already mentioned, in 2016 October. Yeah. The thing in Georgia is that 2 years ago this co-working concept was very new. We had to promote not only the name of Impact Hub, but the co-working concept itself. So it was the most challenging part of our work because people Georgians didn't get the concept very well. Why should I pay to sit and work? It was a bit strange concept. But right now we have many Georgian members as well. In the beginning we had 70-80% of foreigners, but right now we have 80% of Georgians in our space. Wow. Okay. So, and the concept became actually very, very popular here. There are some other co-working spaces opened after we opened the door. So it is becoming more and more popular in our country.
Awesome. Excellent. Question 2. What's the smallest thing that you've done for your community that's had the biggest impact? So
could you repeat the question, sorry?
Yeah, sure. So what's the smallest thing that you've done which has had the greatest impact on your community? So something that you've done not expecting it to do an amazing or have an amazing impact, and then you've gone, oh, wow, that wasn't meant to work that way, but wow, that did.
The thing that most distinguishes Impact Hub network actually from other co-working spaces is that it is not only an infrastructure or tables and chairs and space that you are providing for your members, but we are working on different programs and projects during these 2 years. We have, for instance, we are very much supporting social entrepreneurship in our country, and we are a part of a very important and huge network of Social Impact Award. It's a program that aims to empower youth in direction of social entrepreneurship. So we started implementing this program in our country 2 years ago also, and we had like 500 students who attended the workshops and got the idea what a social entrepreneurship actually is. And we had like 13 finalist teams among these 500 students. It means like about 100 students who actually got their idea, and they like started working on their idea. They got seed funding from our side, and they actually are implementing their ideas. This is one part that we are doing for youth, for instance. We have also the entrepreneurship program for kids in the age of 11 to 13, where we teach kids how to like actually develop their ideas, how to create ideas, how to design ideas, then actually implement their ideas. And we've got the first edition of this program last December, and these kids, they got amazing ideas, and we helped them actually to create their products. And we had a huge fair where these kids had the opportunity to sell actually their products. So this is another project for like kids. Besides, we are the advantage of the Impact Hub itself is that we are part of this huge international network that gives us an opportunity to be a part of different programs that are implemented not only locally, but globally. For instance, we are doing the program Cult Hub, where like 6 different impact hubs are involved, like Athens, Odessa, Yerevan, Impact Hub Tbilisi, Impact Hub Portugal, in Lisbon, and so Impact Hub Vigo as well in Spain. And we are together doing the program where we help students to empower them in the direction of cultural heritage and social entrepreneurship. Besides this program, we also this year launched our first program for women over 60.
Oh, wow.
And that is like the age group which really feels themselves forgotten, in our society. Because, and usually like people and women living in our country after 60, they do not work, and they are only like cooking at home and they are usually housewives. So we decided to give them the skills how to actually be financially independent. So they are cooking well, but we are studying them how they might be able to earn money with their cooking. So we gave them like entrepreneurial skills program for like 6 weeks, and it was really motivating for them. So we are going to continue this program. Besides that, we are doing during year, we are doing like 4 or 5 like international huge hackathons where we invite like young people from our region to Tbilisi, and they have like competition, and they are creating amazing ideas. Not only ITs, but not only technical stuff, but like different kind of ideas. And we have like mentors from USA, so it's also a very interesting part of our program. So this is like the main things what Impact Hub Tbilisi is doing right now. And one more and like amazing thing what we are doing this June 2022 is we are doing the huge festival, Tbilisi Storytelling Festival, that unites like the more than like 30 speakers from all around the world. They are specialists from different backgrounds, from different like fields, and all of them are sharing their like insights, how they tell their stories actually, because it's the most important thing right now. No matter you are an entrepreneur, you are like, I don't know, director or writer or journalist, you need to tell your story. So it's a festival for everyone who wants to tell their stories. And we have such an amazing speakers, for instance, like Vice President of Warner Brothers Pictures. We have the author and moderator of Vogue 73 Questions. We have founder of Masterclass. We have president of Magnum Photos, and like many, many other like people, journalists from CNN, BBC, Guardian, Economist, and like New York Times. So it's an amazing festival that we are right now getting prepared for that.
Getting ready for it. Wow, there you go. You guys are very, very busy. Can I just, third question. So, and this is sort of reversing it around. So Can you give an example of something where you thought this chain and this is going to be fantastic, and it hasn't quite worked out the way you expected? It was a little bit disappointing.
Actually, one thing in the co-working spaces is, I think the same challenge is that when we started it, we were thinking to make lots of collaborations here, that everybody will connect with each other, but it's not so easy because everybody has their own things to do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a bit challenging to build bridges between our members, and sometimes it's a bit difficult as well, but we are trying to do our best. We are doing monthly event for only our members to connect with each other. We already have some good collaborations among our members, but still all the time it remains as a challenge to make this integration between our members,
Yeah.
So we thought that it would be very easy, that he will find him, and they will do together this project, but usually it is not so easy because everybody is very busy with their own stuff. So, but still we are trying.
Yeah, no, that's a common theme. That's one thing, and you're right. You said it right at the start. This is something that a lot of co-working spaces not struggle with, but it's something where they think, well, hang on, we've got all these amazing people. Surely the magic's just going to happen, and it doesn't quite go that way. So it's tough.
They all the time usually are waiting for your initiatives. We are trying to do our best, but usually it's up to us to foster some kind of collaboration among our members.
Yeah, exactly right. Question number 4. So how do you have plans to grow Impact Hub in Tbilisi, and if so, how do you plan to do that?
Actually, yes. Because our space is already overloaded. We have lots of members and we need more space. Right now, our space is not enough because we have only 307 square meters, which is quite small for the co-working space, I would say. And yes, we are thinking to expand inside the city as well. And we are also considering ourselves in the regions of Georgia.
Okay.
But
yeah, no, that's cool. And one last question, if I can, and then we'll go into the general chit chat. So, for example, I had $1 million, which I don't, but just let's assume that we do, and I was going to give you that $1 million to go and scale. You can't spend it. Okay, well, you can spend it, but you have to spend it on the business. What would you do? What's the first thing you'd do, and why?
First, I'm sure what we will do, because 1 week ago we saw amazing place that would fit Impact Hub perfectly. So I would spend all this money to buy this building and then redo it for the Impact Hub and do whole reconstruction and open actually another location of Impact Hub Tbilisi. Yeah.
Fantastic. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'll ask the but you got to ask the question.
Hope you will get it.
So can I just, there was a couple of really interesting things that you raised, and I wouldn't mind exploring that a little bit. So social entrepreneurship, can you, because I haven't come across that too much in my discussions with other co-working spaces. Can you just provide a bit of a definition of social entrepreneurship, or how you see it, and how and what benefits it brings to not just your co-working space, but to society more generally?
Yeah, actually, this social entrepreneurship is also quite new concept in our country. It's very popular already in European countries, and young people are really wanting to be a social entrepreneur, and it's cool to be a social entrepreneur there. But here, the situation is a bit different because there is misunderstanding of the concept. People mostly in our country think that social entrepreneurship is charity stuff, and it's it's not a real business that you don't have to earn money. You can be dependent only on grants or donors, but actually not like this, because we see as entrepreneurship as a real business with a very good revenue that has a mission to accomplish, and Yeah, and the product the products by social entrepreneurs should be like high quality, not like in Georgia. Some people think that it might be not a good quality. It's a social enterprise, and people will buy it out of pity. No, it's not correct, because it's a business. It's a real business. You have to have a revenue. You have to have a business plan. You should be independent, and when you do not have donor money, you have to be sustainable to continue doing your business, and it does not exclude that you have a mission that you want to help. So this is our understanding of social entrepreneurship. So you're a business, you are sustainable, you have a good revenue, but together with it, you have a mission that you are like, I don't know how to say, you are supporting, or I don't know, you are the mission that you have,
So what about, have you got any examples of a social entrepreneur in your co-working space that we can just talk about, so we can get a bit more color around that?
We have NMS. So by the way, in the frame of this program, Social Impact Award, that we are implementing for 2 years already, we have an amazing startup, which is a social entrepreneur, actually. It is a board game that teaches you the gesture language, and it is very funny, and it helps people who cannot speak and cannot hear. It helps people to be socialized with other people, because as many people learn this game, as much they have the possibility, the people with disabilities, to connect with other people as well. And this board game, it is on sale already, and they are selling it very good, because the game itself is very funny, and it's very interactive, and it's very good to play this game. And by the way, but together with that, this helps you to learn this gesture language, for instance. Another what else I can we had also the winning team of our project, the two boys who invented gloves which are converting the gesture language into the voice. For instance, when they people who cannot speak, they do their gestures. This gloves, they make the sound. So actually, this is also helping people to be more people with disabilities to be more integrated with our other people. And it was they have won different prizes, this social enterprise, not only locally but abroad as well.
No, that's amazing.
How
old are those guys, just out of interest?
It's the name of the gloves, it's Sign and Sound.
Sign and Sound. And the founders of it, the two boys, how old are they?
The names, you mean?
Oh no, how old are they? How many? What age are they?
They were actually students when they were in our in our program. Right now they are 3rd grade or 4th grade students. So they are studying, and together with that they are working to develop this idea.
Wow. Crikey.
And they actually had a prototype, so we actually saw how it was saying hello, how are you, this gloves, you mean, after making gestures, and it was really amazing.
That's absolutely mind-blowing. Aside from making me feel very old, that's quite mind-blowing. That's great. Now, in terms of, so that's the social entrepreneurship. Just in terms of the so how many members do you have within the Impact Hub in Tbilisi?
Right now we have up to more than 80 members. 80.
Wow, that's a lot. And it's a fairly small space too. So how do you manage? Are many of them freelancers, so people that work for themselves, or do you have companies that outsource? What's the sort of composition of the team?
So we have many freelancers. We have some startups, the whole team sitting here. We also have some international organizations who are outsourcing their people, and they are sitting here and working here. We have team of journalists, for instance. So besides the co-working space, we have 3 separate offices that are already from the beginning they were rent out, and we have one branding company. We have journalist team there as well. So like it's really, I would say it's a variety of people. I couldn't say that it's like maybe most of them are startups or most of them are freelancers.
Yeah.
It's a mix. Freelancers, startups, people from international organizations, students, social enterprises. So like different people.
So huge. That's a very diverse group. And in terms of just because I have absolutely no understanding of the Georgian economy or so from what I've read though, economically in Georgia, things seem to be certainly improving and getting stronger is what I understand. Is that the case or?
By the way, we are in the ranking of by the World Bank. We are on the sixth place with the like easy doing business countries. So we are ranking 6. So it's like very like easy to register your company in our country and actually start operations here. Like Georgia is really very much trying to help like this. And besides that, like startup ecosystem really is blossoming and blooming right now in our country, you know, because in Soviet era, like our education system was mainly oriented not on like free thinking of students, but they were like oriented to teach you some like fields. You will be a lawyer or you will be a doctor and you will be a journalist, but not like you could be self-employed, you know? You can be actually boss and have your employees and do your thing. And even today, the education system is very poor in our country. It's still based on the Soviet era education system, but there are many young people who learned abroad, you know, in university. They are coming back, and it's very like trendy right now to be a start-upper, you know, and everybody's like thinking and like everybody's trying to start their businesses, which is very good. And many of them and lots of them are failing, but I think it's very good because it's a start, you know. Right now, young people like know that it's possible to actually start your own business and not to be like employee of a big corporation, so big organization.
That's exactly right. And do you think that's where Impact Hub is a co-working space in that sort of an environment where the entrepreneurship that you do have you got the unique position to be able to provide and equip these people with the necessary skills to be able to take idea, transition it to delivery, and hopefully commercialise it if that's possible. Do you guys have any plans to roll? I mean, you're already doing a number of programs, but do you have any like formal training that you specifically do for taking people? You mentioned the women over 60, for example. I guess that's one example. Do you have any other?
For social entrepreneurs, but as for like acceleration or incubation programs, right now we do not make it inside the Impact Hub. The problem here is that the good thing is that government is very much supporting like entrepreneurship in our country. They have a huge agency who is giving a huge funds to like startups, and they have very good programs as well. But the problem what we have in our country is a lack of mentors, lack of lecturers, you know, lack of professors who are really like skilled and really experienced in like actually building the startup, you know. And that's why right now we do not have this kind of program, but we are considering to like maybe collaborate with international acceleration programs or incubation programs, and we want to have them actually here to bring like international experience in our country. So it is in our plans, I would say.
That was actually going to be my next question is are there any plans to leverage off either existing networks or create networks? I mean, you've got the Impact Hub network, which presumably gives you access to some professional skills that way. But I mean, you've just answered the question there that really you do need to reach outside of Georgia to bring that intellectual property back into Georgia.
Usually, if you look through the like portfolios of other Impact Hubs, most of their revenue stands actually on programs like this, like accelerators and incubators, you know. But it's like much easier, for instance, for Impact Hub Amsterdam to do this kind of program because they have like many entrepreneurs, they have many experienced mentors who might be involved. And in our country, it's a bit difficult. It is connected with like lots of money to bring these mentors here, to have them implemented here. So let's see. But yeah, we have this in our like future plans to somehow make this kind of programs in our country available as well.
Perfect. Just a couple more questions, if I can. Just more specifically around freelancers, because that's obviously an area that we're quite focused on. What are the typical challenges that freelancers in your co-working space would experience with their business? So, you're a freelancer. You might be a freelance graphic designer, for example. So, what are the challenges that these freelancers are encountering in being able to run their business and grow their business that you've seen as a co-working space owner?
I don't know. The thing is that, for instance, like if we talk about the IT people, the challenge for ITs who are like sitting here in our country is that the IT people, they have like the salary here in our country is like very low, and I would say that it is a challenge for our country and not for like freelancers, because they are paid very well from abroad and they are remotely doing like IT stuff, and that's why they do not work with the Georgian companies,
Right.
and that is a bit challenging part of this, for instance, for IT people, because IT is like really highly paid position, which Georgian companies couldn't afford to pay.
Okay.
That's why the ITs who are very good and really very much experienced, they usually are working for companies who are like abroad. I don't know that. What was it, the question that you wanted to hear?
Yeah, it was more just like if you're a standard freelancer, what's it like dealing with the Georgian legal system, and what about when, say, for example, you're a freelancer and your client doesn't pay you? I mean, what sort of examples of difficulties are very typical for freelancers?
The freelancing is very new also in our country, so it is a bit like the Georgians are used to the routine, that they should know that they should start their work at 9 and they should end their work at 6, for instance. And it is, for Georgian freelancers, it is very different to like make schedules for themselves. They are a bit lazy people. So this is the challenging part of Georgian freelancers. I would say that they have challenges with timing and time deadlines and timelines. This is actually
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. And I guess I'll just finish off in terms of, so you mentioned obviously needed to expand your offices, and that's a key scaling objective that Impact Hub has within Tbilisi. In your view, would you consider setting up? So there's two ways to expand from what my conversations with co-working spaces. One is to just set up little satellite hubs. So to set up another hub over here and another hub over here, and then try to have multiple co-working spaces, but they're still quite small. Is that your preferred approach, or would it be to buy a large building and just have one center?
Yeah, the thing is that we want bigger space, because like, as our experience shows, like many people want to have a big venue in terms of like doing different kind of conferences or events.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, so when we opened the door and when we had like few members, sometimes we were asking to members, please, could you move to the meeting room? And we were using this big venue, big like co-working space as a venue for events. And it was very cool. And we had very nice events inside the Impact Hub, what was also very attractive for the members. But right now we cannot do that because we have lots of members and it's not comfortable to asking them all the time, like, please move here.
Can you move? Yeah.
Because they are working. So that's why we are considering to move to, not to move, but to expand in a big space where we will have like space for offices, more than 3, because right now we have only 3 private offices. We want to have more offices. We want to have co-working space as well, and we want to have like separate like big event space where we will have all these like hackathons or all these events connected with startups or entrepreneurship or everything else. So actually we want a bigger space. So yeah.
Awesome. Right, well, look, that was really, really interesting. I might end the interview there, but look, thanks very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for your interest.
Thank you.